and our room tour. But today, we're baking cupcakes, and now, I'm a bake. Roxine. Today we're baking red velvet cupcakes, but so the way we're gonna do it is we can only listen to the recipe. So we had Brenda's brother listen through the video to make sure that this is like a thing that we can do. So I'm a baker, okay? I don't think this is gonna go like too horribly, terribly wrong for me, but I don't know, because it's a small batch. We're technically only 4, and I'm used to baking it in like, 2 dozens. So I pulled out all the ingredients that I think I'm gonna need and some measuring tools and stuff, and we are gonna go ahead and try to make some cupcakes. So go ahead and press play for the first portion.
Cakes. Now, of course, this is a perfect size for a toaster oven, but it can also be made in a regular oven for the same amount of time at the same temperature. In a small bowl with a sieve over it, we're going to measure out all of our dry ingredients. Our flour, sugar, cocoa powder, cinnamon, baking soda, and salt.
I'm not going to do salt. So, okay. I think I'm gonna do 1/4 of a cup. I think you need an entire cup to make a dozen. So it's not quite 1/4 of a dozen. Should I do 1/3? I'm gonna do 1/4. I'm gonna do 1/4. I'll do like 1/8 of a cup of sugar. So like half of the 1/4. That's sure. Cocoa powder, I think I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons. Is that a lot? Yeah, I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons, I guess. Baking soda. I think I normally use like 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda regularly, so I think I'm gonna go for 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda. That sounds okay. And then cinnamon. I think I'm gonna do 1/2 teaspoon. I don't like cinnamon that much in my red velvet, so cinnamon. I'll just do it like that. That seems fine to me. I'm all mixed up.
In a separate bowl, add in your egg, flavorless oil, buttermilk, vanilla extract, and red food coloring.
Okay.
And then whisk these all really well together.
Okay. I have an egg, some oil, vanilla, and red. So I think she said an egg, so I have 1 egg. But in regards to all the rest of this, I kind of just have to wing it. I think I'm gonna do 1/4 vegetable, 1 whole teaspoon of vanilla, and then I'm gonna add enough red until I think I've got enough red in it, I guess. Maybe a teaspoon, maybe. Is that too much? How much of it? I don't. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a whole. No, I'm gonna do 1/2. Trying to. Vanilla's expensive. Oh, that's a little bit more than 1/2. That's okay. But red? I think I'm just gonna pour some in. And hope for the best. And I'm gonna whisk it together. Oh, that may have been way too much red. Uh-oh. Oh, it's not too bad. I think I want more red. Thank God I'm wearing black. Okay. Okay, so I added a little bit more red. That's the red that I have now. Go ahead, press play.
Buttermilk is a key ingredient in this cake, so if you can't buy it in your country, you can always make it. And I put a recipe on how to do that along with the recipes for all of the cupcakes on biggerbolderbaking.com. Okay, there you go, lovely and whisk, nice and smooth. Now we're going to add our wet ingredients into our dry ingredients.
Just add the wet into the dry.
I just want to gently mix this cake.
Just add the wet into the dry. I think I'm gonna add some baking powder. I think that'll do it. I think that'll do it. I think it'll be fine. So I'm gonna add, I think, like a fourth of a teaspoon of baking powder into the dry ingredients, and now I guess I'm just gonna pour this shit in. I was gonna use cream of tartar instead of buttermilk because, like, I remember that like when you're doing snickerdoodles, like cookies and stuff, you can use cream of tartar instead of buttermilk. So I was looking for my cream of tartar and I couldn't fucking find it. So here we go. So I've stirred all this together. I have a really pretty red color, but I don't know if you can see, but this shit is kind of like a paste of sorts. And I know she said it's supposed to be thick, but this looks like a brownie batter. I think I'm gonna add a little bit of water. 1 tablespoon. No, we'll start with 1. Let's not do too much. That may have already been too much. Fuck. See, okay, look at me go. I'm a baker. Actually, they're gonna turn out like shit. Okay, so I already have my oven preheated to 350. So I'm gonna pop these into 4 different cupcake liners. I'll go ahead and show you what I got now. Nice cupcake batter, right? So I'm gonna pop these into the oven, let them bake, and I'll come back to you, I guess, with hopefully some cupcakes and hands that are not stained with red any more than they are.
Alright, hi guys, it's Reyna, and I'm gonna try to bake some cupcakes using just the audio from a YouTube video. So, I'm not really much of a baker personally. I do a little bit from a box or from a very specific recipe. I'm gonna try my best, I guess. The video we're gonna be using is by Bigger Bolder Baking on YouTube. She has a video that is 3 different small batch cupcakes to be made in a toaster oven, but I'm gonna use a regular oven. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I have no idea what this is gonna look like. I have not heard this audio before. I've never watched the video. This is totally new to me. My little brother listened to it and made sure that we'd be able to use it. So I've got 2 cool camera angles for you. I have one up here. Hello! So you'll be able to see what I'm doing. Back here on my laptop, I have just the audio from that video. I don't even have the video like up on my laptop at all. I'm gonna be trying to do this based just on the audio. Hopefully I have all the right ingredients and everything that I'm gonna need. We'll see. Oh, and by the way, she has like 3 recipes in this video. We are just gonna be doing the red velvet cupcakes. Okay, so she says small bowl with a sieve over it. I'll be using this one then. It's very small. I thought we had a bigger one. I hope this works. Okay. Sorry there's like the weird line over here in the previous shots. I'm not gonna refilm them. Okay, so this makes 4 cupcakes. She hasn't told me to preheat the oven yet, but I think I'm gonna do that. Hopefully I'll get the temperature right. Okay, so first, flour. She doesn't tell me how much flour to use, so I'm gonna kind of wing it, I guess. I guess we'll do like, I don't know, maybe a cup? A cup of flour be good? Hope that works. And then she said sugar, like regular sugar. Do you normally put more sugar or more flour, or is it like the same? I think that's sugar, right? Probably? Okay, so apparently I'm out of regular white sugar. Big disappointment there, very concerning, but I do have some natural like cane sugar, Reyna sugar. I don't know what that means, but apparently you're supposed to be able to use it in place of white sugar, so we're gonna do this instead. Already off to a great start, aren't we? This is bone char free, whatever that means. I think you usually use less sugar than flour. I don't know about how much, but like cupcakes are sweet, right? So you don't want it to be too little. We're gonna say 3/4 of a cup. That sounds like a fun measurement. Cup of flour, 3/4 of cup of flour, 3/4 of a cup of sugar. Yeah. Oh man, this is gonna take forever. Maybe half a cup would be better. Yeah, 3/4 of a cup of sugar to a cup of flour seems like too much sugar. That's probably illegal, but like, it was taking forever. Let's see what's next. Okay, so it's cocoa powder, baking powder, cinnamon, and salt. Let's do this. I'm gonna add more cocoa powder than I'm adding like anything else, I think, because like it's red velvet cupcakes, right? So we want like a decent amount of cocoa powder. Maybe like this much? We'll try it. Maybe if it doesn't look or like taste chocolatey enough, I'll add more. Cocoa powder smells so good, but I know it doesn't taste as good as it smells. If you can't tell, I'm really not a baker. I don't have baking powder, so I'm gonna look up what I can use instead of baking powder. Apparently I can substitute baking powder for a little bit of baking soda with some vinegar. Now, I'm not gonna add like the baking soda and vinegar right now. I'll probably add that with the wet ingredients because I feel like they probably have to be combined before I put them in, I think. So we're gonna skip that for now and pray that I remember to put it in later. Next though is cinnamon, and I definitely have that. I don't want to add a ton of cinnamon because it's like strong, so like maybe like for this big of a batch, like a little under 1/4 of a teaspoon. We'll try that. I was supposed to sift that, and apparently I was supposed to sift all of it together, but that wasn't all gonna go in this little thing. So as always, coffee. Let me tell you, I was so excited when pumpkin spice came back. Anyways, next is our wet ingredients. So I'm gonna move this off to the side and get started on that. Okay, so I have one thing going for me, and that's that she just told me to add in our egg. Not eggs, egg. So that's one singular egg. So I'm gonna add in egg and flavorless oil. We have egg. That I can do. I can crack eggs. I'm gonna add my egg into my bowl. Probably not a lot of oil. Let's try like a tablespoon maybe. Yeah, like a tablespoon of oil. I'm using olive oil. I hope that's okay. It's like flavorless, right? People use olive oil. What's next? Okay, so she says to add buttermilk. Now, I don't have buttermilk, but I have been told that you can use regular milk with lemon juice. So, I have a lemon. Rachel Ray taught me to roll your lemon on your counter because that helps get the juices. I don't know how much lemon juice to add. This whole video is just me substituting things. I'm assuming you don't use a ton of this, so like maybe we'll do like 2 tablespoons of milk? Oh, or a little more then. Don't worry that there's like dots in my milk. It's the fact that I'm using the same tablespoon that I just used to measure the oil. So then I'm just going to squeeze some lemon juice in, I guess. Not like a bunch, because I don't want it to be like sour. I hope that's not too much. Is that too thick? I think that's too much lemon. I'm going to try adding more milk. Let's try like 2 more tablespoons of milk. I don't think I'm going to add all of this to the batter. I think it'd be like too much liquid. But like, I don't want this to be like gross ass buttermilk. And then I'll add like 2 tablespoons of this to my mixture. Do 1, 2, less than 2. Okay, so next she says to add vanilla extract and red food coloring. So I'm gonna add my extract. I'm gonna do like maybe half a teaspoon. I feel like you can't add too much vanilla extract, you know? I don't have a lot of food coloring. I have neon pink and neon green in here. So I'm gonna make pink velvet cupcakes instead. Some food coloring. And then she says to whisk these all really well together. Next, she says to mix your wet ingredients and your dry ingredients and not to like whisk it a bunch or over mix it or anything like that. You just want to gently combine them. This is like brown. I think it's like all of the cinnamon and stuff and the cocoa powder. Okay, so this is turning into like dough rather than batter. I'm assuming that means I have too much in the way of dry ingredients. So I'm gonna try adding a little bit more of my buttermilk mixture. Okay, that looks like cupcake batter. Okay, so I have my batter here. It's like, I feel like that's like cupcake batter. I feel like that's what it's supposed to look like. I'm gonna go ahead and taste it and see how it is and see if it tastes like cupcakes. I think that tastes like cupcake batter. It might not quite be sweet enough, but rather than adding more sugar, I think I'm gonna add a tiny bit more vanilla extract. That's better. I'm gonna add just a tiny bit more of this to like thicken it up because I think it's just a little bit too thin. Yeah. I'm gonna finish listening to the video and see what kind of instructions she gives me for the actual baking process. I'm not sure if I preheated the oven hot enough and all that fun stuff, so let's try that. And then I'll pop it in pans to bake. So off camera, I've gone ahead and put these little silicone reusable cupcake liners into my cupcake tray. She said they're supposed to make 4 cupcakes, so we'll see if that's how much batter I have. I might have a little bit more, I might have a little bit less, we'll see. But according to the instructions that she gave, I'm gonna go ahead and fill up these cupcake liners and then pop them in the oven. So I have my cupcakes. I have my oven set to just under 350 degrees because it is a little strange and it tends to cook higher than it's supposed to. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop these in the oven and we'll check back in 12 minutes.
We're back. Sorry if the lighting's changed. It's been about an hour since I finished baking and everything. I put them in the oven at 350 for about 13 minutes, and then by then they looked like they had maybe even been a little bit overdone. So I let them cool, and here they are. I'm gonna go ahead and I guess they are very cracked and muffiny. They smell pretty good, and they're quite soft. Regardless of their strange appearance, they appear to be quite soft. So today we're going to be recreating these dogs from here. I'm not going to use the instructions for it. I'm just going to try to do it. So as you can see, they are double layered. So there's a base cupcake and then there's another thing on top. So I'm going to start by making the cake balls to make those little heads. So I am going to use at least one of these cupcakes that I made to make a head. So that means we get to examine the crumb of the cake and see what happens. Yeah, mine came out quite dark. I guess I added too much red. It's nice and soft. I'm sensing that it's quite dry though. Like there's not a lot of moisture regardless of its soft texture. Not too bad. There's definitely some pockets. Definitely some pockets in here. You can see the crumb is kind of thick. It's not very I don't know. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. I'm having some issues breaking it up into finer pieces. It's almost muffiny, I guess. So this is just a can of Pillsbury white icing. For the record, I'm terrible at making cake pops. I'm not a cake pop gal. I suck at it. I can never get the ratio of cake to icing right, and I think I've done it again. So now I'm going to take clumps of it, I guess, and I'm going to start trying to form it into a ball for the head of the dog. I literally can't get this to roll like a ball. That's about a ball, right? That could be a head. That one's good too. Okay, so I used my KitchenAid stand mixer to make this buttercream right here, and I think I want to do a stripy puppy. So I'm going to do orange and white. So I have white. I'm gonna grab some orange food coloring, so I'm gonna scoop a little bit of this, or I guess I could even use this one into a bowl and color it orange. Load it into what looks like might be a leaf-tipped piping bag.
The timer just went off, so I'm gonna go ahead and check on my cupcakes. Oh. They are definitely still wet. I'll try another maybe 2 minutes and check back on them then. Okay, after another couple of minutes, they're looking a little bit better. I'm gonna go ahead and insert a toothpick. and definitely did not come out clean. I don't know if all you guys can see that, but there's definitely cupcake on this. So we'll try another minute and check back. And looks, I'll let them go one more minute, but then I'm gonna take them out because I'm worried they're gonna burn. And here are the cupcakes. I'm gonna have to let them cool before I can do anything with them. It's getting kind of late and we're already losing most of the light right now. So I think I'm gonna have to go ahead and decorate these tomorrow morning. But I have cupcakes. Hopefully they're good.
Okay, so while I was prepping and coloring my icing and getting it into this piping bag, I put my cake balls in the freezer for a better chance of them sticking together. And I also fitted my piping bag with a coupler just in case this ends up being the wrong tip, because this is my favorite leaf tip, but I don't know if it's going to be the right leaf tip for this. So because of the amount of icing I have, I'm going to try to do one at a time. So I guess I'm just going to go in. I'm going to do this one. I don't like this tip. This isn't it. Attico 33 tip. It's a teeny tiny little star. I tested 3 other tips, so I think this one's gonna be good. So the back of this cupcake's gonna look a little bit wonky, but from here forward, I am pretty damn sure I'm gonna get some nice looking like fur. Okay, so I've got the base of this cupcake pretty good, nice in texture. Like I said, the back is whack. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my ball heads. And now I'm gonna frost the head very, very carefully. Okay, so after some trials and tribulation, I have frosted the entire thing and then realized I didn't have black food coloring. Made some green icing here for the eyes and nose. I used a pink lifesaver to make the mouth, and now I'm making the ears out of marshmallows. Oh, these are old, like stale marshmallows though, so I'm hoping they just stay better. Oh yeah, that's cute. Oh, he looks kind of cute, but also like extremely ugly at the same time. I think I'm gonna do the second one and see if I can do this any better, honestly.
Alright, hey guys, I'm back. It's the next day, and I'm gonna try to ice these cupcakes. At about 3 a.m., when I should have been in bed, I realized something. And actually, let's roll the clip. It's 3 a.m. I should be asleep, but I'm not. And I just realized I never put the baking soda and vinegar in my cupcakes, so they're probably gonna be dense and flat, and they didn't rise. Okay, I guess that explains why they didn't really rise the way that they could have. This one doesn't look too terribly bad, but they're definitely, oh man, can you see that? Yeah, they're definitely dense. That's for sure, but we're gonna do our best. Maybe they'll be better when I ice them. I'm gonna go ahead and insert a picture of the icing project job thing that I'm gonna try to recreate. Let's get started. I've got some buttercream right here. It's white as of right now. I'm not much of a baker, and I am even less of a decorator. So this is gonna be interesting. I have no idea which of these tips to use. Maybe this? You know what, let's go ahead and try this tip. It's like really basic and simple. I am currently borrowing a pastry bag from Jess. Hopefully this fits. Kind of looks like that, maybe. Is that your buttercream? Mm-hmm. What kind of buttercream is it? It's just vanilla. So I'm gonna go ahead and take it out of the liner and put it on a little plate. Gosh, this cupcake is like wrecked. Look at that. Let's do this. I'm gonna start by piping sort of a base onto this, and then I need to put another thing on top. I think this buttercream is like too soft. Okay, like it could be worse. I'm gonna go ahead and like pull this down to like show you a little bit. It's okay, like it could be worse. I'm gonna take, I think, this buddy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to carve and like cut this into a circle, because the dog's head is like another little mini cupcake, it looks like, that's placed on top of it. So that's what I'm gonna do with this. Oh man, this cupcake is so like stiff. Cupcake should not be this stiff. I'm gonna go ahead and actually like taste test what this is, like just from the little bits that I've like pulled off. Oh, the flavor is actually like pretty okay. It's like, it's not bad, it's not ideal. I'm not sure it tastes like red velvet, but it's like flavor wise it's okay, but it's like so dense. Like, now I guess I'm gonna take this, set it on like that. Okay, this is fine. And then cover this in more buttercream. And then he has like taller little peaks right here for his little ears. Oh no, I just broke Jessica's piping bag. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit of frosting into these two little bowls so that I can make up a pink one and a black one. For this one, we'll drop in a little bit of pink. This one is gonna get a little bit of black. Update, I think my black food coloring is like incredibly expired, so that's not gonna work. So instead, I know how color works. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my pink food coloring and my green food coloring, which are like semi-opposites on the color wheel, and I'm gonna mix them together, and that should make a brown or a gray. Here's hoping. I'm gonna keep the amounts really small. God, I hope this works. We'll mix that together. Okay, this is fine. This is not like the prettiest brown color, but like, it's cool. I think it's fine. It looks kind of nice. For the brown, it's like pretty small spots, so I'm gonna put in just a nice little tip. Give them little dots for eyes right there. And a little doggy nose. This time, I'm not even gonna put a piping tip in this. I'm just gonna like live wild. He needs some little pink spots in his ears. And a cute little pink tongue.
It was like 4 p.m. when I started filming this video. 6:37, and given I spent an hour letting them cool after they baked. However, that means I've still spent about an hour and a half frosting these puppies. Literal puppies. I literally made dogs. But I guess it's time for the reveal. He's been sitting in there for a little bit. The other one's been sitting in the refrigerator because it's buttercream. I don't want it to like melt or something. Not that it would probably melt in my 65-degree apartment. But you never know. It's safer, I guess. So it's time for the big reveal. Here they are! So this one is the first one that I did, and he actually probably came out a little bit better than my second one. Mine definitely look more like foxes than like dogs. This one has like a wonky face though. I mean, not Instagram worthy unless you like probably weren't a baker, but I've never done like any sort of these like 2-layer things here, and I wasn't reading the instructions, and like these are all clearly candies and stuff, not icing, and I didn't use the right icing tip either, so expectation, reality.
And there he is. He is done. I'm gonna count this as like mostly a fail, but like sort of success.
The cupcakes themselves came out pretty okay. However, the fact that like this cupcake book is like irresistibly playful creations anyone can make. Like, yeah, I guess if I like followed the instructions and like did it properly, I probably could have made those dogs look good and work out. However, we didn't do that. We did everything without instructions. So, yeah, I don't typically like decorate with instructions, but I also just, looking at this, didn't do it right. I didn't use the mini cupcake and then stick it on top, and I didn't use the right icing tip, and I got really impatient. They're okay, I guess. I'm not very happy with them. Like, they're kind of cute, but they're like, I let my 8-year-old frost a cupcake. Cute. I have a mess to clean up now, so thank you for watching, and I'm sorry that I'm not a good baker.